Yeah. I'm Jeff with Nova Space, and on today's Nova Space Nugget, we're going to be talking about different types of satellite images. So, if you've ever found yourself looking at Google Maps or something like that, and you've wondered where do they get this data, how do they put it together and display it for this tool, then hopefully this video will help you kind of get a better understanding of where that comes from. Today, we're going to talk about three sensors in particular: panchromatic, multispectral, and hyperspectral. Kind of what data they collect, how they differentiate between each other, and how they're used, and then how post collection they can be processed to come up with some pretty cool images that are extremely useful for things that we do here down on Earth. So, without further ado, we will jump into our space mission areas and capabilities course to kind of help guide the discussion here. So first up, we have panchromatic sensors. And these sensors gather information in the visible spectrum of the electromagnetic spectrum, and they display it in grayscale. And what this does is this gives us extremely high spatial resolution for these images, which allows you to differentiate between two objects on the ground. So it's really useful for detailed analysis of particular areas of interest that you're looking at. It does not display any spectral information, which is what multispectral and hyperspectral. We'll get into that. But they are useful for grabbing extremely detailed spatial data on different areas. Moving on to multispectral. So when you see a multispectral imager, you think, oh, that looks like a true color image. And that's because it's capturing data on usually on an average 3 to 10 different bands of the EM spectrum, and it's displaying that in color format. So what this is able to do is give us that spectral resolution that panchromatic images are unable to give us. And it just gives us a wide variety of options on data that we can capture. And depending on what application you're using the multispectral imager for, you will capture a different portion of the EM spectrum to display in the image. And then finally, hyperspectral imagers. So much like multispectral, it's getting you more spectral resolution, but less spatial resolution. So the analogy that I like to use between multispectral and hyperspectral is, let's say you're collecting a multispectral image on a rainforest canopy to determine the foliage health. So a multispectral imager will be able to give you the health of that overall forest. You're capturing on a band, you're seeing, okay, vegetation in this area is generally healthy. Whereas with a hyperspectral imager, you're capturing not just those 3 to 10 bands within the EM spectrum, you're collecting hundreds or even thousands of contiguous bands on the EM spectrum. So that's able to give you extremely high spectral resolution. So whereas that multispectral imager is determining the foliage health of the entire canopy, that hyperspectral imager is able to tell you health of individual species of tree in that canopy, potentially. And there's a wide range of applications for both of those sensors. It really just depends on what you're looking to collect on. So I mentioned it earlier in the video. There are ways to do post processing on this data to come up with some really cool products. One of which is pan sharpened multispectral. So, what you're getting out of this post processing is the spatial resolution of a panchromatic image with the spectral resolution of a multispectral imager. And so, you're getting the best of both worlds with a panchromatic and a multispectral imager. So, if you're interested in these topics, please visit novaspaceinc.com and check out our course catalog. And you can buy these courses individually, or we have recently started offering a monthly membership. So for $49 a month, you have access to a Nova Space catalog that covers this topic as well as a vast amount of other topics related to the space industry. So go ahead and sign up today if you're interested and start earning your digital credentials that you can display on LinkedIn or your professional profile. And I'll see you on the next Nova Space Nugget. Thanks.